is Talking Reds. I am Neil Atkinson. This is John Gibbons. You are here with the Anfield Wrap. Coming up, we've got a clip from one of our 2001 shows. But before that, we're going to get stuck into where the transfers are up to. We're going to chat Euros as well in a bit because I'm getting better at the Euros. We improve every single day. But John, first and foremost, you've got transfer news and updates, which I'm excited about.
A surprising amount of links. A lot of midfielders. Yeah, a lot of midfielders because, of course, it's finally been announced that Wijnaldum is definitely leaving.
And the manager wrote a love letter.
Yeah, it was a beautiful piece. It's on the club website. I'd encourage everyone to read it. He talks glowingly about him as a footballer and a person. Talks about his smile lighting up rooms. But says he's one of the most intelligent footballers he's ever worked with. He says he sort of alludes that he could be a bit cranky sometimes, but he just wanted to win, just loved it. Everything was about the team, just love it. And it's just a really nice thing. It does make you think, well, maybe just give him a new deal then. But obviously they didn't, and obviously he's gone to PSG. But it was a nice piece. Have you read it?
I have read it, and it is absolutely gorgeous from the manager. And it just shows, firstly, that I think he himself, and it's interesting because I think it does play into the transfer thing, like he invests in the people and he needs the people to be right. And I think that they'll put a lot of work into that across the last sort of 5 years. They are buying footballers, but I think they are also buying teammates, to be honest. And I think that that's something that we can overlook because we just don't have, and I'm not criticising Liverpool supporters, us or anyone else. We basically don't know who's sound. There'll be an internal football network where you're looking for a certain personality type, you like the player, you ring someone, and we don't know who the someone is, but you ring someone and go, what's he like? Is he sound? Is he this sort of personality, that sort of personality? And I think the manager will be thinking about that blend, and I think we overlook that sometimes. Yeah,
absolutely. But he has gone. He is going to PSG, and that leaves a genie-shaped hole in our midfield. And so, of course, there's a few links. There's quite a lot of links going around today, actually. It is the season and all that. First here, I like this one. Liverpool could reportedly make a monstrous offer.
Monstrous?
A monstrous offer.
Like Loch Ness?
That's what we're swapping it for Nessie. It's for an old friend, Milinkovic-Savic, who's he pops up a lot on the transfer game. I don't know if he was this year.
I didn't put him on this year, so maybe this will be the year that something actually happens. He's an enormous bald Serb.
Yeah, that's the fella. Yeah. He's got 3 years left on his deal, which feels like he's had every summer.
Yeah, I don't know if he's pulled that one off, but yeah.
This is from an Italian outfit, Il Messaggero, which sounds legit to me. It sounds like the message.
How much money are they saying?
Monstrous.
Monstrous?
Yeah.
I mean, he was... There's something about that which makes me think he was very highly tipped and hotly rated, and that sort of dissipated a little bit, and that therefore feels very Liverpool.
Yeah.
That you get him at the moment when there's a bit of a downward curve, so you might feel as though you don't have to be quite as monstrous, but maybe the monstrousness is a term and condition.
So there we are. Watch this space on that one. Another midfielder going into his final year of his contract there, so might be a bit more doable, is Lorenzo Pellegrini from Roma, who's apparently available for less than 30 million. But Barcelona are after him because they didn't get Gini.
And they're skinned. I think he might have a release clause, that one, but he's actually torn a muscle and he's had to pull out the Italian squad.
Knowledge from Atkinson
on
there.
The Euros knowledge. So they've had to drop him out of the Italian squad, which is a real blow because he's one of the lads I was actually looking forward to seeing. Is he actually any good? One of the things I quite like about the Euros, about summer tournaments in general, but sort of getting to see not getting carried away. I'm almost more interested in the players who not just Liverpool, but who teams get linked with. Like I know Sancho's boss. He's obviously boss.
Yeah.
If you know, like most of the attackers that everyone says are boss. What you very rarely do is sit and watch whether or not a certain centre midfield is any good for 90 minutes. So the idea of, he's tidy, is that's what I'm mostly in the Euros for, from the idea of watching other players. Just sort of know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I know Lukaku's amazing, he's going to blam loads of goals.
Yeah.
Dries Mertens, boss. Yeah. Hazard, great. You can go on. But the idea of, what's that little midfielder like? He's quite tidy. I like that.
I'm really looking forward to how many goals Lukaku's going to finish on, like when he finally packs in.
Yeah,
it's going to be that many. Pelle's going to have to find some more.
Yeah, no, it's Lukaku is to me. I think he's now found. I don't think he should leave Inter because I think they love him.
Yeah,
and I've always felt he was never loved enough by any of the clubs that he scored shitloads of goals for. Apart from maybe West Brom, I think they loved him. But I think everywhere else he's ever gone while scoring an absolute ton of goals. Everyone's always banging on about his first touch.
Yeah,
I don't give it. He's just scored 43.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a couple of midfielders we've been linked with. There's a bit more Tielemans chat as well. The only Tielemans chat is there's no offer yet from Liverpool. Do you see what happening? I just think he'll just end up being a bit too keenly priced, a bit too monstrous for Liverpool.
I think he'll be too monstrous. I also don't know. So there's a lot of Leicester players who I think are really good players if they're playing for Leicester. and I'm not that certain. Not that they won't be good for Liverpool, but I wouldn't be excited by a Youri Tielemans signing, in that I think he'd come and he'd be quite good. And I think he'd be one of the better Premier League midfielders, but it wouldn't fire the imagination. Now, listen, Junior Wijnaldum at Liverpool as a centre midfielder doesn't fire the imagination and we win loads. So it's not me saying if we bought Tielemans for a lot of money, we would not win things. That's not my point. My point is I just don't think I'd ever be that excited. I don't, for instance, Maddison, when he was highly rated, I very much don't want him to play for Liverpool. There's a few other Leicester players who I think are really good players, but I just don't particularly want to see them ever play for Liverpool. And that's sort of where I am with Tielemans. And I think if you're doing 60 odd million, I think I sort of need to be able to see either like Van Dijk, Alisson, the best one.
Yeah. And
I don't think he's the best one. Or I want to be able to say, well, he could do Mo Salah stuff. He could get 30 goals and 20 assists. And I want to see that, and he's not going to do that for me either. So if you were to say I was sceptical about Tielemans, that's bollocks. I'm not. I think he's really good.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't. It would never excite me at say 65 million quid, and I sort of don't think it'll excite Liverpool, if you know what I mean.
Okay, this one will excite you. Raheem Sterling.
I'm so happy with this one.
It's from Alex Miller on Twitter, who's chatting basically that he's ditched his agent, and this has been seen as something that might be removing barriers to a return to Anfield.
So when Raheem came through, he was not one of the cleverest. I think he was the cleverest young player I can ever remember seeing. Like from minute one, everyone always focused on his pace and his trickery. For me, he was so tactically switched on. It was incredible to see. And I actually think he's been underutilised at City, which is a mad thing to say when he's won everything he's won and have got the points hauls that they've gotten last season. He got 30 goals, etc., etc. For me, if you were asking me about replacing Roberto Firmino with a player who has similar qualities, I would want Raheem Sterling to be really high on my list. Now, I think Raheem has gone through a period where he sees himself as a winger. I think that's one of the reasons why he went to City. He wanted to go and be a winger. For me, I think he did so much good work through the middle of Liverpool's pitch when he was with us. Yeah. Both feet, turns one way or the other, tons of pace, work rate. I would honestly, if you want to get someone else who can be a Firmino-esque 9, I would, not messing about, certainly the current crop of Premier League players, he'd be the one, and I love him. And when we sold him, I think we did a mad thing. We were in San Francisco, and someone said, what signing? We were doing a questions thing, and what signing was the one that you feel has got away and it'd be a real loss? And I said Sterling, and got booed, roundly booed by the room, because at that point everyone hated him. I just think he'd be incredible for us, and I think he'd fit, and he could play anywhere across the three. I love him.
We do encourage audience participation.
Oh, I'm up for being booed. Boo now.
Boo in the comments. Yeah. There's also a link to it.
Would you love him back?
Yeah, I think he'd be great. I'm all aboard the train. I just think he'd be really good. He'd be brilliant for Klopp. I think he'd love Klopp, and I think it'd be a really good fit. So yeah, I think he'd be really, really good. Whether it's possible, who knows? But the agent being ditched is apparently, according to Alex Miller, a good start.
If I was City, I wouldn't be selling them to us, but I don't know where they sell them.
Yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it?
I can't quite work out, because about 4 years ago, I said he'll definitely play for Real or Barca, and now that looks really hard because of the fact that they're fucked. Yeah. So I don't know whether maybe PSG, but PSG can't buy everybody. Everyone always now does this equation thing. You'd end up going, well, maybe PSG. I wonder, they don't buy this sort of player, but I wonder if Bayern Munich might have a look. They don't do this Bayern Munich, but I wonder if they could get preferential terms from City, if Munich might think, you know what, yeah, we'll have a bit of this. But then at the minute, they're well stocked. Yeah,
there's also a link with Christian Romero, who's a centre-back who plays for Atlanta, but we're not spending €50 million on a centre-off.
Can't be asked. We've done Canate. We'll do another one.
That's my list.
Maybe cheap. I like the list. It's good work. We'll have to do that later on for the Friday night, which we're doing tonight. Yeah. Loads of Raheem Sterling chat, I think, on the Friday night, which if you're not into, then I'm sorry, but Raheem he's just crucial to my life, to be quite honest with you. I was talking about 13-14 last night, and the emergence of Raheem. Do you remember when he got his first sort of proper game that season at Hull, and he was terrible. Yeah. And then a month later, he was the best player on the planet.
Yeah, it was mad. I had him loaned out.
I think you'd flogged him or loaned him or something.
I loaned him.
Yeah. And then suddenly he was the best player on the planet. Anyway, here's Jamie Carragher, who was at one point the best centre-back on the planet.
I think that season was almost like we were just enjoying it. And it was like, wow, we've played in Rome, we've beat them, we're playing at the Nou Camp. And I always remember the draw for this game. I'll never forget it. The other side of the draw was obviously Alaves. I think, I may be wrong, was it Kaiserslautern or someone? It wasn't the biggest of names, shall we say. And we used to, when there was European draws, it was always a special day at Melwood. when it was a European draw. And sometimes we changed training slightly. And that day we were all in the canteen, whether we put training back or this draw was in the afternoon. But I remember us watching it as a team or a lot of the lads. And I was the only one who celebrated, almost like a celebration when Barca come out with us. And everyone sort of looked at me like, why are you in Barcelona? And I'm like, I want to play in the new camp. You know, it's like, I couldn't get my head around the way the others didn't want it. I was thinking, so maybe even then I wasn't thinking about winning the UEFA Cup. I'm just thinking as a young kid, can I have dreamt of playing at the new camp, Barcelona grounds? Yeah, I'll have a bit of that. So I sort of almost celebrate because the other semi-final wasn't as strong. And even going back to sort of Rafa's time, a lot of the time you'd be training and you'd have someone inside and someone come running out at 11 o'clock or 11:30, halfway through training, who you've got in the Champions League. And it makes me think, at the Rafa time was more that we probably didn't realise how good we were. It was like, who have we got in the quarters, who have we got in the semis of the Champions League? That's the way it was, but that was the first year of real European football and playing at Rome, Porto, Olympiacos, and then obviously I was absolutely delighted that we were going to be able to play at the new camp.
We're back. That was Jamie on 2001. All the 2001 stuff's been fantastic right the way through the week. Lots of variation within it as well. And lots of vitality is one of the things I took from it, John. When I was going through the 2001 stuff, I was absolutely desperate for next season to start to have more adventures.
Yeah, it was a great season. It's been really fun reliving it. And what's been interesting to me is that, you know, everyone who's involved in any way, be that a supporter of any age, you know, fans, coaches, you know, all the different people we speak to, they just love that season, and there's just something about it. And, you know, this is people who've either seen Liverpool win the lot or have won the lot themselves. In Jamie Carragher's, experience, but something about that season just sticks with people, and I think we've done a really good job of explaining why all week.
I hope so.
And Craig Hannon had a breakdown on FIFA.
Which was incredible and is worth checking out. I would say it was essential content, to be quite honest with you. It was the fact that he wanted the second game and then got beaten heavier. That really pleased me. Can I have another game? Can I have another game? We were like, we're trying to make the show a bit shorter. Can I have another game? All right, he has his other game, 5-0. This little thing is the Euros start tonight. Now, we've had a bit of a funny relationship with the Euros in the office across the week. I now feel I'm sort of on top of it. Rory's written something really good in the New York Times. The Athletic have done a little thing with a lot of their writers about what's what, who to look out for, etc., etc. There's lots of good stuff that people have done around the Euros to add to your experience. Not us, I hasten to add, but we'll get better as the tournament wears on.
Yeah, no, yeah. Do you know what though? I don't mind one that sneaks up on you. Like I remember like the Russian World Cup, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's going to be rubbish, Russia this, Russia that," and then it was boss. It was quietly boss, wasn't it? And it just sort of, you know, there was some great games, you know, loads of good players played really well, and it was a boss tournament. So I'm sort of hoping for this one as well that it's just going to sort of sneak up on everyone. I think it is going to be a bit mad because the world's a bit mad, and because everyone's season's been a bit mad. So I think there could be some, you know, unlikely scores. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
We've got our prediction thing. If you can get it in time, Scarito, we'll put the link in the bio for this. Do check out Rory's piece on the Italian side who are looking to enjoy themselves. For me, that's the most important thing. Only one team will get to win the Euros. It'll probably be France. That's what everyone thinks. But my point is always only one team gets to win, but in this instance, 23 teams all need to enjoy themselves. Otherwise, we've all wasted our time. So hopefully, whoever it is you want to support, whoever it is you want to see do well, they'll get to enjoy themselves. And we'll be doing some shows around it and talking about it when the game starts. You're going to watch tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait.
I'm banging to it as well. There's a lot of people who are doing a lot of quiet Turkey chat, but there's also a lot of people doing a lot of quiet Italy chat.
Yeah.
So it'll be an interesting game tonight. So check it out, and we'll be doing bits and pieces all the way through. If you want to subscribe to our video product through YouTube, something should appear now-ish or with an advert afterwards. One way or the other, things will happen that I am not in control of around subscribing to our video product through YouTube. Later on today, we'll be going and shooting the Friday night, which will be looking at transfers and the general state of play for Liverpool Football Club. Next week, normal services resumed on the Anfield Wrap. Big Anfield Wrap about the squad coming up on Monday. Really looking forward to doing that one. And also on top of that as well, what we have is we'll be doing more and more video around that squad, around transfers, around what Liverpool need to do next. It's the Anfield Wrap. It's everything you need. It's John Gibbons, Neil Atkinson. See you in a bit.
Hello Reds, thanks for watching a preview of our video there. If you want to watch the full thing, just click join below and you'll get the full video as well as the rest of our premium package, including all you need before and after every Liverpool game. We'll throw in a few perks too, including discounts at the Anfield Wrap shop. Get it! So click join, get involved, see you on the other side. up the Reds.